Hey, what is up guys? So we are going to be going over the best cards you want to be pulling or trading for out of the new Raging Tempest set. Now that a few days have gone by, we get a more accurate depiction of some of the prices. So anyways, keep in mind guys, all these prices that I'm mentioning, they can vary. Things change very quickly in Yu-Gi-Oh! As some of you guys know, but it'll give you kind of a guideline. But anyways, let's go ahead and get started with the best cards out of the set. There are a lot of great comments in the set, don't get me wrong, but I kind of want to go over like the more expensive cards. Obviously, if you're playing online, like this video might not be so relevant for you guys unless you are trading, of course, in real life. So the best card out of the set as of right now, guys, is Zodiac Barrage. It's anywhere from 40 to 60 bucks. I definitely don't see this card price going down at all, and I'll also talk a little bit about that. There is some theory crafting on this, but for the most part, this video is mostly an objective video. But anyways, Zodiac Barrage, like I said, it's an average about 50 bucks right now. Most decks are going to be playing 3, that's why it's going to have that price tag. Next up, the Zodiac Drancia, aka the Dragon. Trident is what they're calling in the TCG, but nonetheless, this card is sitting at about 40 bucks. Most decks will be playing 2 copies of it. Sometimes you'll occasionally see variants that will play 1, sometimes they'll play 3. But on average, if you guys are looking at the OCG, what decks are winning, and I'll be giving you guys a lot of Zodiac deck profiles in this upcoming week because I know there's so many versions of the deck, and it basically is the deck that you guys will be playing. But yeah, it's about 40-ish bucks, and I see it holding its price relatively well. I don't think it's going to go to like a $5 card. So if you guys have these, they're pretty solid hold. I could see this card easily just holding its price at 20 bucks, 20 to 30 bucks for a while because it's a very, very good card. The next good card in the set that is another secret rare is Zodiac Broadbull. This is about 40 bucks right now, and again, keep in mind all these prices can fluctuate, but most decks are playing 2 Broadbull. Occasionally you'll see 3 of him and then 2 Drancia, or 3 Drancia, 2 Broadbull. It does vary from decks to decks and obviously your play styles, but for the most part, again, it's going to hold its price at probably at least 20 to 30 bucks for a little bit before they get hit by the Banhammer or something like that. Not exactly Broadbull getting hit by the Banhammer, but you know what I mean. Zodiacs in general. Next up, the grass looks greener, is what I guess they're calling it in TCG now, but nonetheless, it's hitting at about 30 bucks-ish. I think it's a very good card. It's not a card that's like a one-hit wonder. It might be a one-hit wonder for certain decks, but it's definitely going to be a card that a lot of rogue decks are going to really enjoy. Infernoids, heck, Zodiac Infernoids is a deck that people have been trying out. Pretty much, you throw Zodiacs and like everything, and they automatically become like a lot better. But nonetheless, Grass that looks green is a really solid card and it has a lot of potential down the line. Now, will it hold its $30 price tag? I feel like it's a dang good card, but I don't know if it's going to hold up at that 30 price point for a long time unless something does really well with it, and then obviously whatever does well in Yu-Gi-Oh! That definitely does make it hold its value a lot more. Next up, we have Foolish Burial Goods. Which is the spell card that lets you send a spell trap card from your deck to the graveyard. There's a lot of combos with this card. It's only 10 bucks right now if you guys like don't have them. I don't see it spiking up like crazy really soon unless someone figures out an FTK, which you guys know people do that, and that can make things go up in price. But for the most part, I think it's a really solid card. It's definitely a great card to have. So if you can pick them up relatively cheap, it has a lot of potential again for something later down the line that can be, you know, a $30 card that will actually hold its value if someone figures out something. And I think, like I said, it's a good card, and it's 10 bucks right now. It's another one of the secret rares in the set. Next up, we got a really good card that a lot of decks are looking forward to, which is the Sea Monster of Theseus, aka one of the best cards that we're getting apparently this entire year, is what Konami said. So it's just a tuner that is a zombie that's a fusion tuner. You see Insta Fusion, go for the card, opens up a lot of combo-licious plays. I think it's very good for a lot of other decks. Zodiacs can technically make use of it, but for the most part, I think a lot of other decks are going to be excited to run this in like synchros and stuff. I see this being a very good card. It's about 20-ish bucks right now. I don't really see it going up like crazy again unless someone figures out some like really insane combo that's really consistent. Because as of right now, everyone and their mother, their nan are all playing them Zodiacs. But yeah, Sea Monster of Theseus is a pretty decent card. Like I said, it's about 20 bucks-ish right now. But also, important thing I wanted to mention, this was actually over on the UK Konami site. If you guys got this in another language, it can have a misprint. So this is something really important that I wanted to mention. So the error is treated as a zombie fusion. It does not say tuner in some languages. That's just, it was an error. It says it only affects the non-English versions of the card. But I figure it was, you know, obviously some of you guys are going to be getting the foreign versions of the cards, and those won't say tuner on it. It's still technically a tuner, but it was a misprint. However, if you guys want to, you guys can send your card over here along with your contact information, and they'll send you the correct printed version of it. Now, I don't want to say you should send yours in, and this is why, guys. There is technically going to be more prints of the correct version than the incorrect version. So that's simply because later down the line, when there's the non-first eds, obviously those ones will be changed to be having the correct text, and it would be considered a misprint. Those of you guys that follow Yu-Gi-Oh! Generally misprints sell for more money, or they have higher trade value. So if you guys have the misprint, hold on to it. It's probably going to be worth more simply because supply and demand. People love misprints, and this is one of those misprints where I really don't think you guys should send them in. Alternatively, if you guys don't want to mail your card, because I feel like that's kind of a bad idea because you guys can get the thing lost in the mail. They do offer it also at, there's a Yu-Gi-Oh! Event going on. I'll link this whole thing down below. But any YCS European event, you can also change it for the correct version of the card if you guys want to do that. But nonetheless, I would suggest not to, because it's going to lose value if you do that. Next up, we're going into the two bad secret rares. So these are the only like bad secret rares, so to speak, in the set, which is Full Force Virus. It's not a bad card, but anyways, you tribute a Dark Monster with 2,000 more defense, check your opponent's hand, monsters they control, and all cards they draw until the third turn after this card's activation, destroy all monsters with 1,500 or less defense. It's not a bad card, it's just, again, pretty much the hype is the Zodiacs right now, boys, so this card not looking too hot. It's not a bad card, though, like I said. It's about $10, and I don't really feel like it's going to really hold its value. There's nothing that's going to make this, like, super, super strong, again, unless someone figures something out, or like Zodiacs get hit by a ban list. This is the worst secret rare in the set. It's about $3 to $5. It's Brave Eyes Pendulum Dragon. It's not a terrible card, but the thing is, again, is the Zodiac hype, and these are the only two like bad secret rares out of the set that I would say like they're really not worth like being a secret rare and you hoping to pull out of your box. Yeah. Anyways, next up we got the Zodiac Rapier. It's like a rapier, as I think is what they were going for. Anyways, the Zodiac Rat, it's about $4, so it's not too expensive. And everyone's going to be playing multiple copies of it, so it will hold its value for like $2 to $3 for sure. A lot of the super rares in the set, since, you know, if you guys didn't know, you're getting super rare at every pack now, so it's almost like a common, but it's like $4 for a common. So it's like I said, $2 to $4. It will hold its value for sure, unless again the ban list comes out and I hit it. Another card that I wanted to mention was the True King Litho Sagasm the Disaster. It's just a good card. It's not very expensive, but I still think it's a really great super. That's a couple dollars versus a lot of the other supers that are only worth like 75 cents, you know, like the other cards. Next up, the other great cards in this that are still like pretty good for value-wise. The Wind Witch, they are actually pretty decent. They did get basically hit in the OCG, so who knows if they'll get hit in the TCG, but they're about $8. Like all the like good Wind Witch stuff that's foil is kind of pricey. The Zodiac Tiger is about $10 right now. A very decent card. Again, Zodiacs is basically what this set is about, or Wind Witches. Those are the two like things that are actually going to have like a slight, well, Zodiacs are for sure going to be meta. Wind Witches, they're okay. They're not a terrible deck, but obviously Zodiacs is the thing. I know I'm mentioning it several times in the video, but I gotta keep that in your mind. Next up, we got the Thoroughblade, another decent card. $10 is the going rate right now for this card. It'll probably drop down a little bit, but for the most part, Zodiacs, the cards are pricey. The Snowbell is about $5 right now. Not a bad card at all. For a lot of different decks, they can definitely make use of this card. Again, another Wind Witch card. This one's about $8 right now, the Ice Spell. So everything from Wind Witches, it's not like super expensive, but it is still worth pulling or worth trading for. And maybe you trade someone like the other cards. Odd-Eyes Raging Dragon, I want to say this is more like one of those collector cards. It'll probably hold its value at like $5 for a while. Right now, it's anywhere from $5 to $7. So it's definitely not too bad at all. But anyways, next up we got the Crystron cards. These are other cards I just wanted to mention for any of you guys that are interested in playing some obscure decks. You guys can definitely make some use out of some of the support that came out of this for other stuff. We're pretty much jumping out of the like the best cards. I just wanted to give you some mentions to other things, just in case any of you guys are interested in playing something a little bit different that's not Zodiacs or Wind Witches. These are just other like little good cards out of the set that I wanted to give a little bit of a shout out to. So if you guys are tired of playing some of the meta, try out some of these, because these did come out in Raging Tempest. So anyways, the Cristrons, they got a lot of other support. This card's only like $2, but nonetheless, I wanted to give them a shout out because I think that these are a little bit underrated. They're not bad, but again, when you compare it to the Zodiacs, I'm sorry I'm mentioning it like 69 times, but it's just, I gotta be honest with you guys. That's the deck. I'm next format. Next up, there was a Lightsworn card that finally got printed here in the TCG. So any of you Lightsworn fans, hopefully we get that Minerva reprint in the TCG. But anyways, Lightsworn Judgment came out, so you place it at the top of your deck, and if this card is sent from the deck to the graveyard by Lightsworn effect, you just search a Judgment Dragon. That's a pretty cool effect. It's a common. It's gonna be a quarter, so yeah, it's cheap. And Lightsworn, they had a structure deck, so I just wanted to give you guys a heads up on that. These are good cards for that. There's also some Shaddoll cards also coming out into the future, so I wanted to give Shaddolls like a quick shout out. It might be an okay time, guys, to pick up Shaddolls. Not only is the ban list around the corner, but Shaddolls are getting extra cards later on down the line. I don't know exactly when, but there was a mention of it a while back. I forgot what the exact post. I don't know what the name of my video is that I mentioned it in, but I wanted to give Shaddolls a shout out because if they get any support, later down the line, if you pick them up for like a quarter, $1 now, it might be worth it in the future. Construct at 1, Konami, please. Next up, the Spy Gal stuff, or the spirals in general, everything's relatively cheap. Maybe picking it up now might not be a bad idea because, I mean, for the most part, no one's really playing them in a competitive format that I'm aware of. But nonetheless, they're pretty cheap right now, so if they get something in the future, picking them up for like $1 to $2, this card's $3 right now, but if you pick it up as like a throw-in, $1, maybe not a bad investment for the future, and maybe you guys can try out playing some spirals as well. Next up, there's also some support for the Skull Servant, so I wanted to give them a shout out. I know that there's a lot of fans that like the Skull Servant, so White Princess did come out in the Raging Tempest set, so shout outs to the White Princess. And then also Spiritual Beast, I wanted to give Winda a shout out here because, again, ban list around the corner. If you guys are picking up any of the Ritual Beast stuff for like 25 cents, 10 cents, most of the stuff for Ritual Beast is pretty cheap anyways. But who knows? It might not be that bad, again, as like throw-ins, or like maybe if you guys pimp them up for like 10 cents each. It might not be that bad if you guys want to pick up some Ritual Beasts, because if they get even more support down the line, and again, the ban list around the corner, there could be something to look forward to maybe playing. But I know a lot of you guys wanted me to mention some other cards, but those are the other cards that I just want to give shout-outs to that were also in there. There's probably some other great commons. If you guys want to let me know what other great cards are in the set that maybe I didn't cover, maybe I done goofed, you let me know down below in the comment section below. But yeah, those are pretty much the best cards in the entire set. Pretty much, again, Barrage, Drancia, or I'm sorry, what was it? Dryden was what they call it in TCG, and Broadbolt. These are pretty much like the prize cards of the set in Raging Tempest. But anyways, let me know, guys, what you thought of the set, or let me know what you pulled out of the sneak peek. But I hope you guys enjoyed these vids. If you guys want me to make more, I haven't done one of these in a while. Let me know in the comment section below, because I know a lot of you guys still play the physical card game, and I know a lot of you guys are like, I only play online now, so I just want to get some feedback from you guys so I know if you guys are actually like attending these physical events. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed it, make sure you guys give that like button a titty slap and hit subscribe for more Minecraft content.